Hello everyone, my name is Lilith and welcome back to another episode of Sketchbook Story Sunday. Today I wanted to make something special. Actually, I sort of just wanted an excuse to make fan art for Luna, a K-pop girl group that I recently got into back around June. My good friend Ray on Instagram introduced me to this group a while back, and I have fallen in love with their theme and their universe and just all the members' personalities. For this page, I wanted to dedicate it to just one subgroup of Luna. I'm not going to reveal the name of the group until the very end, so follow along and comment when you can guess which group it is. I just feel like Luna's music videos are so beautifully and creatively executed. So when I am viewing their music videos, I can't help but capture screenshots and I save them to a specific folder designated on my desktop. I've had these screenshots for a while now and I couldn't figure out what to do with them, so this Sunday sketchbook gave me the perfect opportunity. And here I'm just roughly sketching out one of the stills. I plan on using color later, so the underdrawing is not very important. I'm also differentiating between light and dark values, since I know that the darker graphite will be covered with a dark purple, a dark green, and so on. I don't have any bias or favorites, so if it came out like that in this video, I am very sorry. I love all of them equally. Well, I guess I like Eve's the most, sort of. I like her personality off camera. I don't know if you could count it as off camera though. It's just behind the scenes camera. I just like her different personalities, and also she's an amazing dancer. I swear, I've rewatched that one interview video of her dancing so many times. I never thought that this would happen to me, but here I am. I've always wanted to introduce K-pop, anime, and video games to Annabelle, but she isn't really interested in any of them. She hasn't seen a Miyazaki film yet, and my whole family has been trying to get her to watch one. I started listening to K-pop when I was 14, so 8th grade. The first song I ever heard was Haru Haru, because my classmate at the time was really obsessed with it. And then I fell down that rabbit hole and discovered Girls' Generation, Super Junior, SHINee, Big Bang, 2NE1, which was my favorite for a long time. And there's a lot more, but I can't name any off the top of my head. I think what was appealing to me about the K-pop genre is how the group dynamic and having so many members really introduce a whole nother layer of complexity in terms of concept. Sure, it's pop, so it is mainstream if you will, but I discovered there are many worlds beyond the official debut songs and videos. There are interviews, bloopers, vlogs, game shows, competitions. Not only do these idols need to train as singers and dancers, but as personalities as well. Their dedication and hard work can easily be passed unnoticed. I don't really listen to any other groups besides Luna at the moment. Generally speaking, I'm not a huge pop person, so it's not like I dislike the other groups. I just sort of want to listen to a little bit of everything else. I especially like to listen to K-pop when I need to be productive. I think it's because since I don't understand Korean, I can fully indulge in the energy the music brings without getting distracted by the lyrics. I'm working with watercolor pencils today, which I deeply regret because I ended up liking the color pencil effects much more. But I will touch on that later when we get to the Lilith panic section of the video. It's been a while since I worked with color pencil. Usually I would color little blocks and squares in my Hobonichi planner, especially during breaks at school. It was relaxing and meditative for me. But outside of that, I find color pencils a little too time-consuming, unless I'm just using it to outline something. Also, I mustered the courage to draw the faces of the members, even though I was very nervous about getting the likeness right, since it's been a while since I drew faces. I misplaced my mechanical drafting pencil somewhere, and I've been looking for it everywhere. I probably forgot it in a book bag, but working with a wooden pencil this whole time got a little frustrating, especially when I was trying to work out the face proportions. One good thing about these watercolor pencils is the eraser at the end, although I forgot to factor in how the value and saturation will fade once water was applied, so I should have layered on the pigments heavier. Drawing platinum hair is so hard. I don't think I got it right, but oh well, it's just a sketch, right? I probably should have gone in with cooler shades of lavender and greens, but I prioritized the color key of the overall image, which took place at sunset in LA. I wanted to try a stylized language with the face. I didn't think I could pull off a super on-point, realistic representation of her without my mechanical pencil, so I thought I should do something cuter. I really love drawing eyes like this. It probably has to do with my time spent in middle school when I was heavily reading manga. Manga? I was pretty shy and awkward in middle school, as well as high school for that matter. And I was actually bullied a lot for wearing glasses or wearing a bulky backpack. I felt like the characters I read and watched were actually my friends, and I would have imaginary conversations with them. Especially if I needed encouragement, they were always there for me. I remember back when Crunchyroll and MapleStory had more of a social aspect to them, where people can just mingle online and hang out together, not for the sake of followers or clout, but because maybe they didn't feel comfortable at school or at home. When I lacked confidence and didn't know what to do, I would look to the stories I've read and try to figure things out that way. How to make friends, how to find a boyfriend, how to be happy. It felt like I just had to follow the story to get there. Teenage me was very floaty in her own world. I think making friends became easier when I learned about self-validation, and that didn't happen until college, after I had left home and I was in an unfamiliar place surrounded by strangers. I realized I could actually be proud of my accomplishments when I survived semester after semester despite feeling like I'd fail. I used my world that I had previously built myself, a world of dreams and fantasies, to my advantage. Because I knew I was working towards a substantial goal and that nobody else could do it except me. Sorry, I kind of feel like I got a little off topic there. Back to the art. Okay, so this is the part where I realized I messed up pretty bad. My colors started to go everywhere, the palette is not cohesive. I don't know why I colored the triangle red and it's so distracting. I don't know why I decided to use a koi watercolor brush when I knew I couldn't control the water to the degree that I liked, and it ended up completely washing out everything I had been building up. I started to panic and thought that consistency is best, so I basically watered down all the other images too. I attempted to patch up the paintings with color pencil on top after, but again it felt too time consuming and it felt like I had done everything earlier for nothing. So I was like, okay, how can I make this look intentional? When I was doing the purple box, I knew going into it that my brush was too small, but I didn't want to use a big brush and I didn't want to spend even more time working on color pencil, but using acrylic wash or paint would flatten out the other boxes even more. So I just went for it and it was a total disaster. It was completely not how I imagined the overall image to be. The paint was streaky and uneven, there wasn't enough pigment. I covered up an idol that I had sketched out meticulously, and I was feeling pretty discouraged at this point, but I knew I didn't have enough time to start all over. I decided to opt for collagen textures to make up for the loss of detail and contrast in my drawings. I used little stickers as moons for the first drawing, and they stand out nicely, I think. I also covered up the red triangle by cutting out a piece of lavender origami paper. I like to hoard different types of paper, and for a while I was pretty obsessed with folding paper cranes, so I have lots of these lying around at home. I wrote a small journal entry inside to document my day and my frustrations with the drawing. I ended up reworking 2 of the members by giving them colored outlines to balance with the more finished one near the top. Here is my attempt to paint the Luna logo, and I made the L a little too big. I lined the subgroup name with pencil because I thought it would be a cleaner finish overall. And here is the finished page. Thank you for sticking with me until the end of this video. I'm curious as to what your biases are and whether or not you have listened to K-pop. Let me know in the comments if you have any group or song suggestions. Have a wonderful day or night, and I'll see you next time.